Good morning. So today we are continuing with the Bhagavad Gita. This is chapter 2 and verse 20 onwards. But before we start verse 20, I will give you a small recap of what happened yesterday. That is, during the previous verses, Shri Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that all this world is unreal. Even the bodies which we think are real are no longer real. They basically are kind of sheets, kind of containers which we take up. As we traverse the path of different lifetimes, we take up new bodies and the old bodies die away, and then we take another one, then that dies, and then we take another one, and so on and so forth. So there is nobody who can be killed or somebody can do harm to any other person. So we will go deeper into this subject today because Sri Krishna has to give this understanding to Arjuna. So we will continue from chapter 2. So we are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 20. The soul is never born, nor it ever dies, nor does it become after being born, for it is unborn, eternal, everlasting and primeval. Even though the body is slain, the soul is not. Now, these sentences tell us that we are not actually the body that we think we are. If we consider we are the body, then we will have a name, a family, and so on and so forth. A simple example would be, say, a bottle of water or a bottle of ketchup. Okay, let us take ketchup. Now the ketchup has a name, a brand name on top of it, isn't it? So when we pour the ketchup out, or when we pour a soda out, or when we pour a water out from this bottle, we think, the one who is pouring out thinks that, okay, I am pouring out this brand. So the name of that ketchup is that brand. Similarly, the name of that water is that brand. Now, in India, you get so many expensive brands also, and you get the cheaper ones also. If you go by railway, then you get, the ones which are available in the railway platforms that need something. Okay. If I go by flight, I will get a tiny bottle this much and they will charge me a bomb for it. Or they will give me free water which they will pour, which I shouldn't drink. Or if I go to the neighboring shop, I can get all kinds of bottles of water, like, say, for example, in India we get Kinley and Aquafina, like you get in US as well. And then there are expensive bottles like, I don't they are very fancy names. And they will call it having some kind of, additives in it. The same thing with soda. Now we call it different names, we call it as soft drink here. So every soft drink is there. So there is Pepsi, there is Coke, and so on and so forth. And then there is all those high-end drinks, like say for example with more contents of some XYZ things. Like Thumbs Up. Thumbs Up is a very well-known brand in India. So it has a very high content of certain stuff. So it tastes different. Plus there are those, the Gatorades and all those drinks as well. So, depends. But now I want you to think, what is it that we are drinking and what is it that we are having? If I am having a bottle of ketchup, I am having ketchup, I am just eating tomatoes and maybe some other things, additives. If I am drinking water from some brand, actually I am drinking plain water. But I don't consider it as plain. I still remember buying a bottle of Evian or something like that abroad, and it was so expensive. It's a bottle of water. What are we talking about? It's expensive. Yeah, because other bottles are not available, so you have to buy that, and it is expensive. End of the day, it is satiation of my thirst. So bottle of water. Likewise, we human beings, that is this people who are there sitting in the satsang, all of us consider this bottle, this body, more than we consider what is the thing inside of us. So we are not considering water, whereas that branded bottle is concerned. We are looking at the brand. So let us say if the brand says Evian, okay, or Kinley, you have a name. When you look at your body, you call it by some name, isn't it? You have a specific name for that. I cannot say you are somebody else. You are so particular about the name. So for you, that branding is very important. I have to be called by that name. Otherwise, I won't even look at that person who is calling out. This is the kind of belief that we have. Then anything happens to this bottle, this body of ours, we are very much concerned. So if I get a cold, okay, I am concerned. I am got a cold. If I get hurt in the feet, I stumble and fall down. There is a problem. We have to attend to it, and we are hurt. It bleeds. The body bleeds. So naturally we feel it. Krishna is saying, why are you looking at the body? Stop looking at the body and saying that I am going to kill. The I who is going to kill somebody in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Stop this. Because everybody should consider themselves as the soul. So he says, the soul is never born, nor does it ever die. So the one inside of us is never born. Then who is taking birth is the question you will want to know. Who takes birth? If the soul is not born, then who is born? See, I will introduce a small topic over here. We have 5 sheaths. 5 sheaths. These are coverings of the body. There are 5 coverings of this body, like a bottle. Now I'll show you a bottle. Now this bottle has 2 sheaths inside. That is, there is one layer inside, something in between, and then one layer outside. So if I put cold water in this, it will remain cold. It's like a thermos. So thermos has got 2-3 layers. But I am going to keep water in it. So likewise, this body has 5 sheaths. The outermost, that is the one which I can touch and feel and experience and understand about it, even in my X-ray. If I go for X-ray, or if I go for even any other kind of medical stuff that happens, I will understand what is there in that. That is the outermost body. It is basically happening because of food. It is called the food body. I am going to explain in English only, so don't bother your head about the Sanskrit version of it. So it is the food body. It is also known as the gross body. Gross because it is gross. You can actually touch, feel and all that. Just below that, the second layer below that is the breath. I breathe in and breathe out, isn't it? So there is air circulating all over the place. You may think that the air goes through my nose only to my lungs. No, The lungs has a system where the oxygen is taken to all parts of the body, isn't it? So it is going everywhere. So breath. The third one is a very interesting one which we actually are more concerned with. Why? Because it is mind body. Everybody is concerned about the mind body. The mind body is the worst one. Okay? It is the one which can literally make our life miserable, or it can make us very, very happy. Either of these two things can happen. So we have a mind sheath, it's a layer. Then we have the fourth one, intellect. Some people, intellect disappears. And some of them have a lot of it. So there is an intellectual body over there, somewhere, one more layer. And the last one, we'll just call it the happy body. Why is it the happy body? Think about it. It is the body which doesn't allow the water to mix with the thermos. They are the layers of thermos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And there is water inside that bottle. That water cannot go out because of the innermost layer. It is confining it. The innermost layer of the bottle confines the person, confines the water inside the bottle. I hope you understood these 5 layers. And they come about by means of this human existence. We have human existence, so these layers are there. Every layer has its own functionality. Okay? Do I need to tell you what is the functionality of your breath body? No. Your food body? You don't eat proper food, you know what's going to happen, no? Or if you eat too much of it, what's going to happen? Both these things you know very well. So yes, so these are the ignorant objects of ours. Now in all these 5, did I talk about the soul? No. There is no soul involved in the body. The body is nothing but a piece of container. These 5 layers are nothing but that which we are collecting from somewhere. Now, the first body I told you is called the gross body. The second one, third and fourth one. The second, third and fourth. This is called the subtle body. Okay? And then there is a happy fellow somewhere down the line. One who makes us the most ignorant being on earth. Okay? If you look at the name of this body, it is called Anandamay Kosh. Anandamay Kosh. I don't know what Anand you get, but it is called Anandamay Kosh. It's a very strange name for this. Because it confines you to this body. You stay in this place. Like the bottle of water, water, you stay inside this place. That is what happens. It's a very dicey one, but that is what happens. So, the soul is not concerned with it. It just traverses from here to there, to there, to there, to there. Why were we born? Do you remember the third sheath that we spoke of? Which is there in the subtle body? Mind. Very interesting one. The mind is the one which literally gives you bodies after bodies after bodies after bodies. It's the mind which creates these kind of hallucinations in us. It is the repository of everything that we have done till today. If you remember, now you are grown up and suddenly, one fine day, you are talking to someone. You are a man and you are talking about your sister, and suddenly you say, she was so mean to me when I was a kid. Oh, really? You still have memories from the past. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, what has happened, you are still remembering. And that which you remember is going to make you live for the next so many years of your life beyond this body also. Why? Because you're carrying a grudge. You're carrying the remnants from the past. So when you carry all these remnants from the past, they create a pile of karma for everybody. So it is this second body onwards, that is below, which we call as the subtle one, is responsible for a lot of new bodies coming into existence just because we hold on to it. Now, how does this work? Let me give you an understanding. In India, we have those bottles of garlic. You get those bottles of garlic paste, ginger paste, ginger garlic paste. We call it by all these names. So you take paste of it and we put it in our food. When we cook the food, isn't it? Now, I take a bottle of garlic paste and the bottle gets over. Now if I want to after the bottle gets over, I wash it and I want to put honey in it. In that same bottle. Do you know I will get a scented honey? Garlic scented honey. So did you get the point? The remnants from that particular garlic is still in that bottle. Or if you have ever tried, a pickle bottle, especially in India, we love pickles, so we buy pickle bottle. And those heavily, tasted ones, like, different kinds. I wash the bottle after it is finished and then I try to put something in it. It is going to smell of only pickle. Whatever new stuff that I put in. Exactly like that. So every time when we take a body, the smell from the old one is still there inside it. And that is what the mind carries. So from this body to the next, 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 that smell never goes, which means all the karma of your life is never going to go away because your mind carries it from one place to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other. Now I hope you will understand why there are so many bodies that we have to take. Just like water takes so many bodies, water takes many bodies. Example, when the water evaporates in the ocean, it goes up as a cloud, it rains over some place. After it rains down, it is either collected in some pond, some lake, some river, or maybe a mountain top, maybe a desert, I don't know, some place it's going to fall. Now wherever it falls is the container. So if it falls in a lake, we call it lake water. If it falls on the mountain, we definitely call it snow or something like that, or maybe rainwater. Now if I bottle it, I take that water and I bottle it. I can call it by some brand name. Then I drink the water, then the water is flushed out of my body, then it again goes somewhere and then the cycle continues, isn't it? Exactly like this, in our life, this soul is there, it will go away, then it will take up some other body, it will come back again, go away, like that. The cycle keeps on continuing. That is why, if you are going to continue to say you are XYZ person, you are going to be having karma associated with that person. Whatever the name you carry just now. So he says the soul is never born, it never dies. Nor does it become anything after being born. That means the soul will not be called by some name. The soul has no name. Like the water has no name till it goes inside a bottle. Got the answer? For it is unborn, eternal, everlasting and primeval. Unborn. It is not actually born. The soul is not going to be born. It is the bodies that are created. Would you understand that? Maybe another example will serve you. I have to give examples because that's the only way in which you will understand. You know, in India, when we have weddings, so there is a lot of gold that is given to the girl, saying that you take this gold and you wear it. And now that gold belongs to grandmother. Okay. Now the grandmother's 1947 jewelry nobody wants to wear today. They want the latest of the jewelry, whatever. So they will go to one of these GRT jewelers or some other jewelers or Bhima jewelers. They'll go to that Joss, Alokas and all that. And they will go and they will say, we don't want this old fashioned one. Can I get a new one? So the first thing that jeweler does, he says, okay, melting charges. He's going to charge you for the melting charges. So much is the melting charge. So much is the loss. Why? Because that gold which you might have given may have some copper content in it or some other content in it. So he is going to charge you for that also. Finally, when he melts the gold, he will melt it and then he will design the new jewelry for you. Maybe a gold chain, maybe a bracelet, or maybe some kind of a thing. So now think about it. The gold got transformed from one to the other. And then when you give it to someone, that person may not like the design, may again go and melt it and make it into something else. So likewise, the gold keeps on changing shapes. Now, is the shape permanent? Ask yourself this question. Is the shape permanent? Not at all. If I have made a necklace out of it today, tomorrow I can make a bangle out of it. Right? After I melt the bangle, I can make a brooch out of it. From that I can make a chain, gold chain out of it. I can make some other object out of it. But the gold is gold is gold is gold. Right? It only changed shapes. So it became a chain. It was before that a brooch. Before that it was a bangle. And before that it was a necklace. Everything is changed. But gold is gold. Is that shape permanent? You have to ask yourself that. No. The shape of the brooch or the necklace or the gold chain is not permanent. I can melt it. Likewise, this body keeps on coming and going. It just takes shapes. Okay? So I hope this example at least serves a little purpose. So the body is not permanent, but the soul, which is the gold inside, it is permanent. It just keeps on going from one to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other. So we will move to verse 21. So we are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 21. Arjuna, the man who knows this soul to be imperishable, eternal and free from birth and decay, how and whom will he cause to be killed, and how and whom will he kill? So if I know and I have an understanding that I cannot be killed and I cannot kill. Now this is something which, if you are spiritual, you should take it seriously. But if you are not a spiritual person, you will be very much affected by it. Suppose you have thoughts of killing someone, you know how difficult it is, no? You remember that guy, he took out the gun and he started spraying bullets on everybody. You may think, oh, how easy it is for him. No, it's very difficult. He believed that he is killing some people. But this knowledge is only spiritual. It is not material worldly knowledge. Please remember this. In the spiritual world, we know that I cannot kill someone and neither that person can kill me, because I am not the body, I am the soul. This is the main thing. The next verse. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 22. As the man shedding worn out garments takes other new ones, likewise the embodied soul, casting off worn out bodies, enters into other, that that are new. I just explained this whole thing to you. When I give away this body, when this body dies, I have to take a new one. Like I said, it is not necessary that I am going to have only a human body. I can have any other body. Remember the shape of that gold? It can take any shape. I can have tomorrow a ring also. Who knows? I can make a ring. Some people wear nose ring. Some people wear bajuband. That is the thing over here. Some people wear over their stomach also. I don't know what it is called. Everywhere in India, some different kind of jewelry is used. So you can be any of that. Likewise, he says, like I give away worn out garments, the body goes, a new body comes in. So I should not be bothered so much about what I am doing. Verse 23. So chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita, verse 23. Weapons cannot cut it, nor can fire burn it. Water cannot wet it, nor can wind dry it. So we are doing verse 24, Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, verse 24. For the soul is incapable of being cut or burnt by fire, nor can it be dissolved by water, and is undryable by air as well. The soul is eternal, all-pervading, immovable, constant and everlasting. This is the knowledge which we need to have at the back of our mind, always, constantly. What is the knowledge? I am not the body. I am not this body. The thing should be constant. If I am not this body, can this body, which is maybe a necklace, can it have relations with a earring? Can it have relationship with a gold chain or a bangle? No. A gold chain is a gold chain, a necklace is a necklace, an earring is a earring, they're all separate. But we all think of ourselves as some relative to some person. Who is the mother and the father of this gold chain? Can you tell me? Can this gold chain have a mother and a father? Nobody. It all came from earth. So who is the mother and the father? The earth itself. She gave birth to this gold, isn't it? So we call her Prakriti. Mother Earth as Prakriti. She gives birth. But we think because we are kept in one box with all other gold jewelry, we think I am related to it. When you go to the jeweler, you know what happens? You buy a necklace and then you will want a matching earring, a matching bangle. You know that, isn't it? So this is what happens to you. I want matching, everything matching. If there is a small, maybe a ruby in that necklace of mine, can I have a small ruby in my earring also? Yeah. So we want matching. So matching happens with our family, this family of ours which we have. We believe that is our mother, we believe that is our father, all matched out people. Just because we are in a box, a society. We are in the jewelry box. And because we are in the jewelry box, we believe I am related to X, Y and Z. This is our problem. So Krishna says over here, why are you getting into this problem? You are a soul, nothing can disturb you, nobody can cut you, nobody can disturb you whatsoever. Why are you so much bothered about it? So he says, you are eternal. You have been going on and on and on and on and on and on for eons. You are the most ancient. Ask the person, what is your age? Ask any person what is your age. You know what they are going to say? I am so many years old. But you are telling me the age of the body, not of yourself. Because the body is not going to be, like, it's going to go away one day. So you say, no, in the orbit columns you will find a lot of people, after 80 years of being on this planet Earth, this person died. 80 years. Huh. So some people die at the age of 80, some people die at 90 and 100 also. So we are taking the age when we are born to the time that we die. That is all. So it's connected to the body. So let me try to understand this from my grandmother jewelry. I converted it into something. So it should have a date of birth and date of death also, isn't it? Because it died and became something else. And that is the reason why we should not bother so much about this life of ours. Again, I was born this time, I am so many years old. By the way, I celebrate many birthdays in a year on the side note, because the body's age is different, the day I was born is different, and there are so many dates that are there connected to this body. So okay, everything is my birthday. I love to celebrate so many birthdays. So many cakes maybe. So this is the funny part, and that is the reason why he says the soul is eternal, all pervading. It is there, all pervading. This word I can't explain just now, but in the future I will give you the understanding of this word, all pervading. All pervading means it can pervade through these walls also. It can go through this computer also. I don't have to be sitting here. I can be next to you, sitting next to you. So it is all pervasive. It is everywhere. It is there in outer space also. But this experience is not there with you just now. As we progress on the path of the Bhagavad Gita, I will give you the understanding. It is constant and everlasting. So today we have covered till verse 24. Tomorrow we will cover verse 25 onwards. Alright, so I'll take your leave. You have a very good evening or a good day. Bye.